Well, today may be the day before the midterm elections in the U.S., but it is also a day to celebrate all the redheads out there. It is National Love Your Red Hair Day. National Love Your Red Hair Day in the U.S. It is designed to empower everyone with red hair to feel confident about those ginger locks. It started in 2015 to counter the rise of negative events like Kick a Ginger Day that has started. Why would, that's a thing? Why would
It's horrible.
Kick a Ginger Day? It's awful. Why would that get traction? Less than, it sounds like
People
it
are
started
cruel.
by some jerk in his basement and somehow like it just continued.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's great.
less than 2% of the world's population are lucky enough to be born with red hair. This is called National Love Your Red Hair Day. Wouldn't it just be more concise and punchy as National Ginger Day?
Yeah.
Maybe. Not all redheads like to be called
I think you're
gingers,
right.
though,
Oh,
right?
okay.
Some people don't like it.
I apologize then.
And ginger's
Yeah.
a spice. There might be already like a national Coke with Ginger Day.
Right.
Correctamundo.
You got to get your days straight.
You got to get your. There's
Yeah.
so many of them.
There's so many of them. So here's the thing. Bill is a self-professed
Well, I don't know.
ginger, right?
I've said to people, no, I'm Auburn. And they're like, no, you're
Yeah,
ginger.
you're kind
and
of on
then
the fence,
So I've
straddle.
gone, okay, I'm kind of gingerish. People are like, no, you're not at all. So I don't know. You tell me whether you think I'm ginger.
Hard no.
I
Hard
don't
no guy.
yeah.
I used to get
don't see it.
I used to get a flaming red beard, like back in the day. Like it was. That's why I wouldn't grow a beard because it was just so
Really?
crazy.
I get some
yeah.
red in my beard too. Red and a lot more gray now when I grow it up, but I've always gotten
Those are
some
the
red
red
in there.
velvet cupcakes you're eating.
Oh, it's just
That's
the
not, yeah.
food.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. It's
true.
Yeah, no, really? One, like,
Yeah.
straight
Oh,
red
not
hair?
one. Like quite a few, like popping in there. Before it was easier to see them before I get more gray.
Right.
But against the black, yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Matt Sundin used to get that too, and Sundin used to grow a beard in the playoffs.
it would
He used
go-
to have like
yeah.
fiery red beard.
Interesting, eh?
So even had blonde, he had the blonde locks before he lost his hair,
Yep.
and then red beard. So your beard doesn't get too red anymore, though.
No,
does
it
it?
used to, and it's just toned down over time.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, so if George and I went and joined in these celebrations for Love Your Redhead
Right,
Day or whatever,
right, yeah.
Is that right?
who would get the boot?
Well, you
George
take
first.
some time to grow your one
Yeah,
red hair
that's right.
that
Just
you would
let
be
it go.
stroking.
They'd be looking very closely. I don't know. They might let me. I'd have to be on like the periphery or in the back or whatever.
So here's the question. Now there's a redhead emoji, right? This is with the latest update
Okay.
because, you know, redheads were angry
Yeah.
around the world because why didn't they have one? Will you use it as a
Like
on
for-
the fence redhead?
I don't. I feel I'm more auburn or dirty blonde, but
Okay.
but you know.
Do you have a Bitmoji? Have you created one?
No. Oh, like an avatar sort of thing.
Yeah.
I have.
And is your Bitmoji a ginger?
no.
Okay. So
More
you're not a
cinnamon.
ginger. We just,
And
we, I
there's-
think
yeah.
we figured it out.
I think
more
George is
cinnamon.
more of a ginger than you are with
Yeah.
his one rogue
Yeah.
red hair.
Yeah, I'm practically Prince Harry. You know? If,
You gotta grow that out now. Just that one hair.
Hey, is
So
there-
it's like this.
Is there such thing as an Indian ginger?
Oh, good question. Actually, I think I know one.
Do you?
Yes.
Really?
Well, why don't you guys discuss how we're gonna come back?
Okay.
Before I read this next story, if you are eating breakfast, just a little disclaimer, this story is pretty gross. So don't often condone that they mute us or change the channel for a minute, but if you're eating, maybe do that and then come back. There's a new museum in Sweden, and it is not for those with a weak stomach. So again, if you're still watching, you want to look away, that's fine. The Disgusting Food Museum is opened in Malmo, Sweden. It opened last Wednesday and includes exhibits of, you ready for this, guys? Sheep eyeball juice,
Aw.
bull testicles, and maggot-infested cheese.
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is.
Been on TV 12 years and finally said testicles on TV.
Wow.
In all, there are
Jeez.
80 food items on display. The point of the exhibit is to challenge visitors to smell and taste unfamiliar food from different cultures. It runs until January 27th of next year, so if you're in the Malmo neighborhood and want to be grossed out.
Never.
Wait, sorry. So are we to assume that maggots eating cheese is
Delicacy.
from another
Well,
culture?
Don't
you know,
talk- I'm gonna get
fermented, you know, there's blue cheese is mold, so maggots love them
Oh,
some mold.
come on.
Oh my goodness,
But
this is hard to
I
watch.
can't
Yeah.
look.
Did you see that one? There was one shot that was a wall of tins. Do you know what's inside those
No.
tins?
No.
It's a Swedish delicacy called surströmming, and it is fermented, putrid fermented herring fish. And I've seen shows, I've actually never smelled it, but where they've opened just a tin of it, and the entire studio, it just wafts over the studio. It is apparently the most disgusting smell ever
Imagine working in that factory.
to make it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you're supposed to eat it? Like
Yeah,
people eat this?
it's like fermented and spoiled herring fish.
Okay, I'm still trying to understand how this whole museum thing works. This is like, you know, when you go in the fridge and you smell some, you know, milk, and then you go to your partner and you say, "Does it smell bad?" And they're like, "You can decide for yourself. You don't need me to smell." Why would I go there and smell a bunch of things that are going to smell bad when I already know they're going to?
People
I don't need to go to the museum.
People do that with food too. They're like, "Oh, this is disgusting. Try it."
Yeah, taste it.
Why do we want to inflict our pain on other people?
I don't know.
There's a certain, I think, titillation. Like, there have all these candies you see sometimes when you go to a kid's store. It's like, oh, vomit gum and all these things. I think there's a certain curiosity about the absurd, and not that this is absurd. These are local delicacies, and I get it, but if you're not raised to appreciate these things, boy, that really turns my stomach. The maggot one is just...
No.
It's amazing what people can develop a taste for, though. For example, real quickly, Retsina. It's a Greek wine. Not everybody's favorite. It's got a very kind of a bitter edge to it. The history goes that the Greeks in this particular region were being invaded by the Romans, didn't want to give up their wine to them. So if we can't have it, nobody gets it. So they tainted it with tree resin to make it bitter and undrinkable.
Wow.
But then when the Romans left and left the wine because it was terrible, they were left with all this wine, and that's all they had to drink. So they developed a taste for Retsina.
That's fascinating. Very quickly, because we're almost out of time, what's the most ambitious thing you've ever tried, eaten? Most out there thing you've ever put in your mouth?
Brains, any organ meat, like eyeballs, brains.
You've had that?
Tongue, all of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think you win, George.
Liver pate when I was young just seemed really natural, but French background.
Haggis.
Really? I've never. Nothing. Zero.
Pre-vegetarian?
Nothing, no.
No?
No, I mean, tofu. There you go.
You've never done
No.
Mine's MAGGOT-infested cheese.
Can we?
Okay,
wow.
For new cooks in the kitchen, mastering one recipe might be the key for conquering other dishes. In Nikki Segnit's new cookbook, Lateral Cooking, she says if you can successfully whip up one dish, then you've got the start of a very clear path to creating a bunch of other meals. It begins with committing to memory a simple recipe first, and then understanding how one dish leads to another. For example, starting with something simple but possibly daunting like bread, which at its most basic requires flour, water, yeast, and salt. From there, cooks can add a few more ingredients to make other recipes like scones and cobblers.
Love me my cobbler. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, you know, I can relate to this because I'm one of those people, only when it comes to baking, really intimidated in the kitchen because it is an exact science and you always need a recipe book and I can never get it right and nothing rises the way it's supposed to and it just never works for me, or then the batter is still raw inside. That's how I bake. But if I knew like basic things, if I just to memory knew that this is how it works, this is the science, and you know, I can change it up and have the confidence to add more other things to it, I think I'd be more confident in the kitchen. But my problem is that I'm always guessing. I don't know. I have to look at everything.
You know all the things, Betty Crocker.
Oh yes, Betty Crocker.
It's muscle memory too, and if you do it enough, then some of those foundational things will probably be there, and you wouldn't have to think twice. But for me, the fun in the kitchen, because I grew up in the restaurant business, is the improvisation. It was always being able to just take a little bit of something, a little bit of leftover here and something there, and making something really delicious.
Yeah.
See, I really admire people and cooks and bakers who can improvise like that. Like my mom is a fabulous cook. Go home every weekend to see my parents and get home cooked food. And I'll ask my mom, like, how do I make this? Like an Indian dish, how do I make this saag or mutter paneer? And she goes, oh, you just put some of this and some of that. I'm like, no, I'm the type of, and I do like cooking, but I'm the type of person where if you give me a set of instructions, I can follow it to a T, and I put stuff on my Instagram story, and people are like, oh, you're such a good cook. Well, I'm not really. I'm good at following instructions. And I'm the same with a meal plan, with a workout. If you tell me exactly what to do, I need a roadmap, and I can stick to it. But in terms of improvising in the kitchen and like tasting something and being like, oh, that needs a little red chili powder. Oh, it needs salt. I'm not good that way.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I think I really just want to learn how to fix stuff. When things go wrong, how do you fix it? Because if you watch any of these like shows, right, they'll, something will go wrong inevitably in the kitchen, and then they just know, oh, I'm just going to add this, and then that will bind it. Or if I just want to know how to fix everything that I make go wrong.
There's almost always a fix, and you're right. Baking and cooking very different.
Different, yes.
Like you can almost cover your butt with any meal with the right kind of sauce or something, even if the meat's not properly done or the veg isn't properly cooked, But baking it's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
You want to fix it, just call George.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell him.
Done.
He can improvise.
Door knock dinner. Not baking though.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bread don't rise either. I'm telling you. Okay.
I'm going to call Ryan Smith. He's our producer.
Ryan's got it.
I think there's a medication for that. So there's a survey of millennial
You make
brides.
it so dramatic, though. Now people are expecting like
People-
something really great.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is so good. I haven't even read it yet.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if you can tell.
All right.
A survey of millennial brides-to-be shows technology in some more traditional things are out in modern. Fine.
Would you like me to take over? I'll take over.
I think I need to read that part again
Yeah,
because
I
I
think-
messed it up.
okay,
Sorry.
go ahead.
Okay, a survey of millennial brides-to-be shows technology is in. There we go. It could have been bolded. Technology is in and shows some more traditional things are out in modern weddings.
That's right. So 500 women between 25 and 34, they were asked by Deal Spotter Influencer Marketplace about their plans.
Mm-hmm.
About 37% say they'll use a personalized social media hashtag to track what goes online.
Mm-hmm.
More millennials, they're hiring videographers to get a highlight package of their big day. I did that. About half of the brides still use physical save the dates. The rest rely on virtual invitation. That's a good way to save money.
Okay.
Many planning their weddings also turn to Instagram to look for vendors.
Are we surprised by this? I think
No,
not.
I don't think so. And I like that people are sort of, moving with the times. Certain traditions, obviously, depending, culturally, people hang on to. I know for us, we didn't have a cake because it was a lot of money for a cake. And
that's
who
right.
eats the cake? Who remembers the cake?
It's just the photo op.
Yeah.
And the cake at the weddings are always so obnoxious. Like
Yeah.
they're like 8 tiers, and then you get the picture. You're both holding the knife. You do this, and then.
And you're supposed to take a tier and put it in the freezer, and then I don't know what you're supposed to do after that. So I didn't do that. But I don't know about you. I go to a lot of weddings. Do you?
I don't get invited to that
Oh,
many.
okay.
Should I
Yeah.
be concerned?
No, it's just because, they're afraid you're going to bring a +1 that nobody knows. That's what it is. That's why nobody invites you. Yeah.
I'm the person who RSVPs. I'm like, can I bring my dog? Is that a cool +1? No?
And they're like, no pets allowed. But with the weddings that I'm going to lately, I'm finding there's a lot of one-upmanship that's going on, right?
In what regard?
People are really over the top. So I've seen where the bride and groom, they enter, but you're like, please welcome for the very first time, Mr. and Mrs. Sharma. And then you look, and then like a door opens, and there's like a Corvette convertible that comes through, and they're in the car, and they
there's
come
like
on the dance floor,
smoke and-
smoke machines. And you're like, oh, we just walked in.
We just kind of what happened to just walking in and dancing awkwardly while you hold hands with your partner.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, let go of my hand.
Yeah.
We're together, but we're alone. Yeah.
Also, do you only go to Indian weddings? I noticed you use the term Sharma.
Well, I mean, yes.
You're not going to too many Smith
No,
weddings or
I
Chang weddings?
I go to all sorts of weddings,
Okay.
but that was the one that I use as my example. It was my go-to.
Fair enough.
Yeah. There's enough Sharmas out there. They understand.
You want to talk dating apps?
Yeah.
I know you love that topic.
Well, you know that I picked out this story specifically for you,
You're going
right?
to try and throw me under the bus. Great.
No, this is only to help you.
Okay.
Always.
All right, big sis, here we go. There's no shortage of app-based dating options out there for you, but if that's too fast and impersonal for you, there's a new app that slows everything down.
Okay.
Suave.
You're interested, right?
Sure.
You retained what you just said, though, right?
I did.
It's going to slow everything down for you. The app is called Once.
Okay.
So it started in France. It's recently released in the U.S. And now it's similar to the other swiping apps out there. But this one, it introduces the user to one and only one person a day.
Ooh.
So if there's a connection, users can start a conversation. Now, if not, you have to wait until the following day to be introduced to another person.
Oh.
So this is where you go, slow dating for ya.
Slow dating for ya. Slow dating for ya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So this is what it eliminates, right? Think about it. I think that, in this day and age, there's a lot of bigger, better option, right?
Yeah.
If you can just keep swiping through, you might not stop to really appreciate someone because you just know that you have other options.
Yeah.
Here, it forces you to take a look at this connection
For 24 hours.
For 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not really a dating app person, but we've talked about this before, right? I think we live in this era of disposable dating, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think 20 years ago, you meet somebody, you like them, maybe you don't love everything, but you kind of stick things out because there's potential. I feel like now when people are dating, if there's like one thing they don't like, they're quick to sort of like, oh, well, there's other options out there because I'm on this app and I've got like 6 other matches or whatever.
Right.
And it's disposable dating. You're so quick to move on to the next one. And I don't think options are great, but I don't think that is such a good thing, right?
Yeah, and this way you have a real opportunity at a connection, right? So,
Yeah, that's true.
And if it's not there, it's not there. You wait till the next day, which could be a little excruciating as you're like, I'm just waiting for my next match.
See,
I don't know why you sound like
Is that
that.
how you wait? I'm like, that's
Yeah.
very high stress. But okay, here's the thing. I want to know how good the algorithms are are on this app, because if they're not matching you with people that you actually are connected to, then it's just like, oh, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're duds. And you're just waiting. I'm like, this is a slow burn. I'm getting older. You have time. You got to start meeting people.
Yeah, you're like, get me to Friday already.
Yeah.
Let me get the algorithm Friday choice.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe I like the idea of the slow burn, the slow release, but maybe increase it to like 5 per day.
Oh.
Right? No, because listen, I have friends who are on the Tindy and they're just like watching the hockey game, swiping. I'm like, you're not even looking.
Did you just call it the Tindy?
Yeah, but they're like, it's a numbers game. They're like, you just like everything and then you communicate with whatever you match with.
Right.
Whatever.
Okay.
Sorry, whoever you match with.
Yes. I don't think you understood the whole thing of what we were just talking about,
No,
because
I get
it's
it.
1, it's not 5.
No, but I like the principle, but just larger sample size.
Okay. All right.
No?
Sure.
3. Can we agree on 3 per day?
Okay. Well, I'll talk to them. We'll see what we can come up with.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
Well, the quest for new ice cream flavors gets more extreme every day, but have they finally gone too far? An Oregon ice cream shop has come out with holiday-inspired flavors. This year, they came out with some rather unorthodox ones. For Thanksgiving this year, they include sweet potato casserole with maple pecans, roasted cranberry sauce, sherbet, roasted peach and sage cornbread stuffing, and this may be the topper of all the toppers, salted caramel Thanksgiving turkey ice cream.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, that last one has turkey fat whipped into the ice cream and bits of crispy turkey brittles. So sort of like bacon, like hard bacon bits would be. Look, I don't know if anybody here ever watched the original Iron Chef. I think used to run on the Food
Yes,
Network.
yes.
They would have, you get one ingredient, now make a full, as many course meal as you can in 1 hour.
Right.
And it always included dessert. And the great chefs there would always make ice cream. Tuna, I remember tuna, garlic, seaweed, all individual ice cream
Tuna?
flavors.
Seaweed.
Really good yellowfin tuna ice cream. And all the panel always loved desserts. So
I wonder if this is one of those things where if you close your eyes, you didn't know what you were going to eat. Mind you, it'd be cold because it's ice cream. But still, as you tasted it, would you just start to all the turkey dinner flavors all come together for you? Or would it be like, no, I'm eating ice cream.
That's a really
It shouldn't
good
taste like
point.
turkey.
Yeah, I wonder what. Because even some really good chefs I've seen on other Food Network shows, some really quality people who, food's their life, blindfolded, tasting basics like meat. They're getting turkey, chicken, pork wrong. There's something about not seeing your food and not being able to smell it properly, like it was just taste alone. I don't know how that's going to work.
Okay with the flavors,
Yeah.
but I'm a texture person.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the cold fat just feels like I might trip over that with my tongue.
Me too.
I don't know,
Yeah.
but like Greek cuisine and Portuguese do it a lot too. They use like pork fat, rendered pork fat in a lot of desserts, like a lot of their custards and cakes.
Yeah.
And that sounds really gross. If you're vegetarians and stuff, maybe you
But
guys
it's
would do it.
good.
But it is. Rendered pork fat sounds gross, but used as the fat content in these cakes, I can vouch is delicious.
Okay, what about when it comes to like ice cream in general? Is there stuff that you don't like no matter what? Because there's so many flavors. For me, it's bubble gum. Just
Oh,
I don't.
really?
Yeah.
Agreed.
I just
Not a
don't.
fan.
And maybe when I was a kid, because all you want is a sugar high all the time. I can't do bubble
I don't know.
gum.
I don't know.
That's such a memory thing for me. I love it. For me, it's my dad used to get maple walnut, and there was like a little dry around the nut, and then it just didn't match with the cream. It always felt like if I
love
dropped my ice
maple
cream on the
walnut.
ground and I picked it back up and it had all these things on it like bugs, and it just like in my mind the texture of some chunky inside it, if it's not chocolate or marshmallow, it's just gross.
That's our
That's a
Director Sue's favorite.
go-to.
That is totally a go-to.
Director Sue's favorite is that one. That's
that's
mine.
fine.
Watermelon, not a fan. Not a fan. I
Ooh.
love watermelons themselves. Any watermelon flavored anything makes me a little bit queasy.
I'm with
Really?
you.
I don't know why.
agree. I don't think I would like
Something
this.
going on. I don't like.
Oh, I love it. You know what? I can't do orange sherbet. I'm
What?
anything orange. I can't
really?
do
Delicious.
Orange
I can-
sherbet?
I
I'll
can't
take
eat
it.
orange sherbet. I can't eat anything with orange in
Tangy.
it. Yeah, no, nothing orangey. I just like orange itself, but like I love eating oranges and clementines and all that. But in ice cream,
Green tea ice cream.
Oh, I
Fan of
like that.
Okay.
I do like
It's
it.
just
Yeah, it's okay.
Somewhere down the
I
middle.
went through a phase. I'm out of it.
Yeah.
As long as I'm having it with fried bananas, I'm happy.
Yes.
Anyway.